Welcome to Softcore History.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Softcore History. I am your host, Rob Fox, the one with the voice that projects the most, which is why Dan always gets mad at my mic levels. Speaking of Dan, I'm joined by Dan Regester.
Hey, man.
What's up?
Just doing my part, Rob, for the podcast, trying to grow the brand.
Yeah, we're growing the brand.
Been going on a kind of like ESPN type car wash.
Yeah. But like not on purpose. They just needed guests, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess. They just hit me up. Like I went on RBP on Friday. They put me behind the paywall, though. So
the Ross Bolin podcast.
You gotta pay for Ross and Jared's podcast if you want to hear me. But then I went on Circling Back today and pimped out Softcore History. And immediately Brett Merriman called me out for it, saying like, "Oh, you mean like a hardcore history, like Dan Carlin?" Like, yeah, that's the joke, man.
That's the joke.
Kind of ripped that off.
Yeah, that we are not doing a good job.
We're not hiding that. No,
covering history.
No, we're not hiding that.
That's the whole fucking point.
Yeah, I actually listened to the first 5 minutes of that because I saw you'd posted about it. And I was like, "Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
nailed it in."
Mm-hmm. So what was a funny thing to do? Be like, "I figured out your joke, asshole. Fuck you." Like, yes, we wanted everyone to figure out the joke.
What now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's transparent.
Yeah.
We're not hiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like the fat kid that's owning Tubby. It's like, I am Tubby.
Honestly,
yeah, you can call me Tubby.
Our goal is to get a cease and desist from Dan Carlin.
We haven't succeeded until we get a Dan Carlin C&D.
Yeah.
And immediately we play the parody law
Yeah.
card.
Which I think qualifies.
It does, because
to be quite honest.
if Pardon My Take can exist,
Right.
Softcore History can exist.
Yeah.
He can't do anything with that.
No.
It's not called hardcore history. So, and there's no, let me be clear. We do not affiliate with Dan Carlin.
Yeah.
We're better than him.
This doesn't even make sense because that's like also every porn title ever.
Yeah.
Like Martin Scorsese's not chasing after Bangs of New York.
That's a weak porn title, honestly. Bangs of New York.
Well, there's only so many.
You ever do the game where you switch one letter and it's a porno in a movie?
Never heard of it even, but I like it.
Yeah, no, my favorite right now, I thought of this one a couple nights ago. Instead of Shutter Island, it's Shitter Island. Mm-hmm. It's about butts.
Yeah? Well, to say the least.
Well,
butts was not even what I was thinking. That's like a lot cleaner than what I was thinking.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's up to anyone to interpret it. I didn't say the plot of the movie.
It
but
made it sound like a
German Scheisse movie?
Yeah, well, it just made it sound like Germany's Maui.
Yeah. Shitter Island.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's just, or maybe Germany's Fire Island.
I'll go ahead and introduce myself.
Yeah,
I'm Jake Goldman,
author of Shitter Island.
author of Shitter Island, New York Times best-selling author. Jake Goldman, author of Shitter Island.
Man,
that would sell.
We're graced with so many New York Times bestsellers in our life.
I know. It's amazing none of us have written one yet.
Sad.
We could have.
Sad.
You want to write one?
Well,
together?
what's nice?
You want to write Shitter Island?
What's nice for me is I'm about to blame all my unfulfilled potential on having a child.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
I should have had one sooner. That's such a good excuse.
Harness the energy in that.
Yeah.
And then harness that into your parenting style.
Yes.
And then they'll harness
Yeah.
it into violence.
Give up on
And it's
your
good.
own hopes and dreams and then just push it onto your own kids.
Just bury it in that kid's future.
Oh, 100%. What's it like? I'll be like Andre Agassi's dad, except with jokes. Where I'm like, funnier. I wake him up at like 4 a.m. and just make him be funny. I don't know how.
It's like, tell me a knock.
Yeah.
Give me a hard five.
Yeah. Type 5. Give me a type 5.
Type
Yeah.
5. I'm sorry, I'm not in the industry.
Yeah.
Like you, Jake.
I'm not in the industry either. I did my first open mic in a year and a half.
How'd that go?
Fine. It's fine. Did a couple jokes. Did a couple zingers.
I would hope so.
Yeah. No one liked my joke about killing a turtle on mushrooms. I didn't, but some other one.
Was this about Turntle?
Yeah,
No,
it was about Robert Aguero.
No, I kind of borrow from that story. But
Okay.
Yeah.
But R.I.P. Turntle.
R.I.P.
nonetheless.
Turtle. That's ever since that guy killed that turtle, FSU has sucked.
It's
As
the curse
well
of
they
turtle.
should.
Yeah.
You rip a fucking box turtle in half, your program deserves to go down the
You're
drain.
a monster
Yeah.
if you do that.
No, I mean, think about that, though. Like, one of the most prolific, like, sports dynasties, FSU football, for probably the last 20 years, 30 years. And they're just dog shit now.
Well, they're going to turn it around. My
'Cause
boy
of Mackenzie
Mackenzie.
Milton.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the line in front of him, but he better be used to hurting his
So
leg again.
R.I.P.
He's not going
Hope
to
his
last very long.
leg's pretty strong.
R.I.P. Mackenzie's
Right.
leg / maybe his life.
I just want to know, he ripped that turtle in half by like shell to shell, right?
I don't know.
No, I think he ripped the turtle out of the shell and ripped it in half. I don't know.
I don't think you can rip a turtle out of the shell.
That's too much. It was one fell swoop. I think he grabbed the bottom shell and the top shell and just and opened it up.
Are the shells that soft that you can just rip it in half?
People like
He's
animals.
a kicker.
Animals still eat turtles.
Yeah.
Much less strong animals.
Maybe
than
he
that.
just like heel kicked it, like just dropped his heel into the back of it. It just split it.
Anyway,
in half.
I hope that guy. I guess that's not worth a death sentence, but like, I hope he gets like pretty painfully injured.
Now I don't know.
He deserves it for that.
I do not know the Agueros. I can't tell the difference between the two of them. It was the younger Aguero.
It was the younger
So
one,
I don't know
yes.
if it's Robert or.
Yeah, don't put that on the wrong person.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Because it's fucked up.
It's
Aguayo.
the younger Aguayo brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, fuck that guy. If you like turtles and you run into the younger Aguayo brother, literally.
Rip him in half.
Well, if you can't do that, just get the hardest. Find a golf club and just hit him in his fucking shin.
We're gonna get a C&D from that guy before we get one from Dan Carlin, aren't we?
I would love. I know it's not a lawsuit, but they say like, oh, I hope they sue for discovery. Yeah, I want that to happen. So we can be like, oh, you mean about the time you ripped a fucking turtle in half, you psychopath?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. We're not saying anything like that's not true.
It's
It's documented.
well,
Right.
there's no proof.
What,
There's no proof that he did it, but
what if he
did it?
That'd be fucked up if that guy framed him.
This guy ripped his own turtle in half.
we're actually going to do a deep dive into this.
That's my next step.
Our
That's next week's
actual
episode.
episode where
We'll
put
break our 20
thought and effort into it and research.
Yeah.
We're going to actually go to the fraternity at FSU, get
shit.
interviews.
We
and-
probably should do a murder doc on Turntle.
yes.
That would be hilarious.
That's our idea.
Wait. Coop, cut this.
Yeah.
We don't want to give that out for
No, we're not
free.
giving it out, but we will
That's
be doing
behind a paywall
a murder
for
doc
sure.
on Turntle.
Yeah.
I actually know it was Florida State Pike, right?
I don't remember.
I know. I'm friends with the Florida State Pike.
I don't.
From that time.
You're friends with the That's like saying you're friends with someone from UCF. There's like
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
dude,
I know,
no,
there's a shit
it
ton
wasn't
of-
Florida State Pike because Florida State Pike has enough guys to kick the shit out of the football
yeah.
team.
There's no
Yeah, that's
way
true.
that there's
Florida
no way
State Pike is like 500 guys.
Yeah.
that they also
It's the biggest
probably
fraternity
have
in the
guys
country.
on the football team.
That's a militia.
Yeah, no, it
that
is.
point.
No,
Because they
that-
have guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
All right.
it's like Florida State Pike, Fetal, and Lambda Chi were like ginormous for some reason. One,
What do you mean for some reason? They just it's a night. You get the money.
it's not like they like all the houses were that big. There were three, and then it was like a disparate amount lower from those three. It was crazy. Anyway, that's not important.
Anyway, what's
your
important is
topic?
what we're talking about tonight. And what we're talking about today, for no reason, this isn't topical or anything, which I do sometimes, in case you're wondering, like, oh, is Rob some fucking topic about anything that's going on now? No, I don't. We're talking about the Doctors Riot, the New York City Doctors Riot.
Bunch of doctors rioting.
Yeah, of 1788. No, it's people rioting about doctors.
Hell yeah.
That could be topical.
I think that's what he's going for. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going for topical.
Healthcare.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
I finally got a good salary again, so fuck you and your healthcare.
yeah,
I don't care about any of
they
you
pay us
poors
well
anymore.
here at Drinking Bros Studio, so or Tetherball Media.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not poor anymore. So I am now a capitalist.
Yes.
That's right. That's how it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's so funny talking to people as soon as they make money. It's like, man, what comes out of my paycheck? Fuck that. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you start to notice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like at a certain point, you're like, not a fan.
When should I get back? Anyway. Yeah. So what are the the Doctors Riots were the people of New York. About 5,000 of them got pretty steamed at a group of doctors in New York and rioted. And we'll get into why.
Okay.
Obviously.
Before we get into this, have you seen a bunch of the vaccine commercials?
I haven't seen a single commercial.
Oh, it's all I see. Maybe I'm just watching network TV because of golf, but they're really hammering home. Just like, come on, guys, you can take the vaccine. You do your part.
But
Like,
that's the best.
What celebrity endorsement is happening there?
it's like news anchors that are like national news anchors, like Al Roker,
Okay.
and then like doctors.
They need to take the approach that like Axe Body Spray did in the early 2000s, which is just like the guy gets a shot, then like a bunch of like half-clothed women are like, "Hey, you smell
Yeah.
hot from your vaccine."
No, that's how you have to appeal to all this stuff. It's the same way we talked about with the anti-gun commercial, where it's like only pussies use guns. Well, actually,
that was-
said only gay slurs use guns, right?
We were
That's what
gonna
it needs
say-
to be. Like only F words use guns.
We were telling this to Dan Holloway. Like if they really want to get serious about gun control, just say real men use bows.
Yeah, composite bows or crossbows.
Compound
anything
bows.
like compound, but whatever the fuck. Yeah. And the commercial needs to start with like someone breaking into the house and then some guys like, ew, a robber. Pew, 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 pew.
And then you just have fucking Robin Hood on the staircase just like sniping them.
Yeah, and the guy's like, yeah, and just, yeah.
And
Exactly.
The girl jumps in Robin Hood's hands.
Yeah.
They make love.
Like
Of course.
Yeah.
for like a
hours.
significant amount of time.
It's a 3-hour-long
we
commercial.
see
All
full
of it's
penny.
sex.
Yeah.
All of it is sex.
Yeah.
It's a very long porno.
Yeah. Then what's that? There was a rule in movies, like for smoking cigarettes, Ravs, Russians, Arabs, and villains.
Oh, they could still smoke?
Yeah, so there needs to be a rule in movies for guns. Not really. I don't want this at all. But it needs to be like women, homosexuals, and others. And
Who?
Yeah, who's. Yeah.
Just shooting their little 22s.
Yeah. Pow,
I love
get
that.
away from me! I'm helpless.
That would work.
The bullets just bouncing off people.
That would work.
Well, they're just like missing constantly, and they're like,
You can't stop me with that fairy gun.
yeah.
You're gonna need something stronger, like a compound bow.
You need a who? Yeah, and then just like John Cena pops in double fisting crossbows.
Yeah, no, that sounds right. We need to start contacting lobbyist groups.
Yeah.
I think. Just
Well-
like, hey, dinosaur juice
And
in a car.
Yeah.
We've solved so many problems.
Dude, I can't tell you how many problems we've solved in like the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever the fuck.
We're on a roll.
We need
baby.
to also scrub, or like, we need to retouch Orlando Bloom in Lord of the Rings
Hey,
to
what's
make
going
him
on
like
with this-
stronger.
What's
I thought
going
you
on
were
with
going
this
to say the
Doctors?
city of Orlando.
No.
That place is perfect.
Like he's too blonde and elf-like. You know what I mean? Like,
I've always had a problem with that, actually, in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's like, I don't buy it. Him?
what I'm just saying is we need to just make him look stronger. Maybe again, to just digitally insert John Cena as Legolas.
But with Orlando Bloom's head?
No.
Or just,
No,
it's
still
totally
John
just
Cena.
John Cena.
Oh,
Oh,
just John Cena.
so you're saying get rid of Orlando Bloom altogether?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Well,
work.
I don't get the infatuation with him.
No,
at
we,
all.
we remake Lord of the Rings with John Cena playing every character.
I could see that.
No, because
That place.
then all the weapons are equal, right? I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but John Cena's Gandalf?
Yeah, that'd be red. All right. Anyway, let's get into the fucking topic here.
Yeah.
All right. Fucking
Cooper, can you write that down for us? Like, you got it? All right, cool. Yeah.
man, we had so many good ideas there too.
I know.
What was the one?
Should we just
what was the
start
one I
over?
had that I was like, no one? The murder doc on Turntle.
Yeah.
That's what we're. That's gonna be a softcore history presentation,
Yeah, like a side thing.
like a produced
We'll have a PowerPoint.
it'll be like pre-recorded, produced, like a murder doc that like your girlfriend or wife listens to on a long road
We'll get
trip.
like a little piano. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
No,
There was a
we
turtle,
talked
but what
Ross into
happened to
spending
him?
like $500,000 on this documentary.
And where was
Jesse would be down.
Richie Aguayo?
Yeah.
The whole time. Bum, bum, bum.
It's all about the music.
Yeah.
Anyway, Doctors Riots in New York happened in 1788. Back then, 1788, we're talking about a country that had just become a country at this point. The Constitution was only finalized, I believe, a year before, 1787.
Jefferson had nothing to do with it,
No,
No, he didn't.
despite what Timothy Dexter said.
Yeah, yes. Tom Jefferson was over getting his wiener stroked in Paris while also like getting really like 18th century woke, basically.
Well, he was isolationist, right?
No, he wasn't. He was like, we need to go to war on behalf of France to help them.
But I thought his whole problem
Continue
in
the
the
revolution.
presidency was like he didn't want to trade with anybody.
Jefferson?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, I don't think you're thinking of Jefferson, but I can't.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
go
fine.
for it.
So back then, late 18th century, wasn't easy to learn how to be a good doctor. How could it be?
I feel like you just have to have a steady hand with a saw and leeches.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Thomas Jefferson, the original isolationist.
Isolationist.
I'm glad
yes.
Dan's messing with the flow just
He-
to prove he's right.
I think that's a really questionable accusation on behalf of whoever wrote that. Anyway, obviously becoming a doctor back then was not very standardized, and anatomy still a bit of a mystery. we knew stuff.
They got the head, shoulders, knees, and toes part down.
Yeah, we knew stuff.
We tried things.
We were aware of bones.
Blood.
Yeah.
This is when doctors took chances, okay?
They didn't do it by no goddamn book.
There wasn't a book.
Trial and error.
Well, no, the worst part, what's worse is there were books, and people take things that they read seriously.
Yeah.
So
they were just wrong books.
Yeah, they were
just
wrong books.
Drain the body of blood.
Yeah.
It needs new blood.
Let out all the bad blood. Put new blood in.
There's ghosts in your blood. Take this opium.
But yeah, but to study anatomy, to learn more about the human body, doctors in the late 18th century across the globe, including the United States, not unlike now, needed dead bodies to dissect and pull the organs out of and be like, this is fucking this. Oh, wow, the heart's there. But people were not wild about giving doctors cadavers back then.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of like religious.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, they probably think Frankenstein.
Frankenstein was not published for another 20 years.
It doesn't matter. They probably
Yeah.
still think Frankenstein.
No, I'm sorry, 40 years.
They were
Or
talking
30
about
years, 30 years.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
They were
30, 40 years.
They were brainstorming for that guy.
Yeah, she
you think
didn't-
that was
Frank-
an original idea?
No, not from a lady.
No. Heavens, no.
Mary Shelley.
Lord,
Come on.
no. Now, if she had gone by like MJ Shelley, right?
I don't like initials.
A lot of women do that, so they just so people aren't like
lot
a
of
woman
authors do
wrote
that,
it.
yeah.
A lot of that's what I mean.
JK.
JK, they made JK Rowling do it. They're like, it's just gonna be better sales if people think it might be a dude that wrote it.
Why doesn't she rebrand now? Like, just put her actual name on the Harry Potter books.
Joe Rowling.
Is that her name, Joe?
It's like Joanna or Joe, but she goes by Joe.
Yeah, because she's getting
J-O.
canceled right now for the trans stuff.
She's been canceled 100 times.
Yeah.
yeah,
J.K. Rowling. It's
Hey,
pissing in the wind
you-
that people try to cancel her.
you either die the author of Harry Potter or live long enough to see yourself become the Voldemort.
yeah, but you get a
I
theme
want to kill
park.
myself because I said that joke.
You get an entire theme park.
Yeah,
Well, part of Universal, but yeah.
I might have said
A
that's
major part of
Do you-
Universal.
a huge part.
The funniest thing to me is like when people want to cancel super rich people like J.K. Rowling. It's like, do you think she gives a fuck?
Yeah,
I've said this. Nobody ever actually gets canceled.
No. Harvey Weinstein.
That's not that's an arrest. That's
Yeah.
a legitimate prosecution. Like
Yeah.
the guy is going to jail for
In
committing
jail. He's in
crimes.
jail.
Yeah, he went to
no,
jail.
like Louis C.K.'s not canceled.
No,
No, he's doing specials.
Canceled and prosecuted are not the
Arrested
same
for crimes.
things.
Yeah.
yeah. Only the justice system really cancels people. Like Timothy McVeigh, we canceled him.
Yeah, he's
Ted Bundy canceled.
well a few times, but then he gets back.
Dude, Richard Rodriguez and Richard Ramirez and fucking Ted Bundy, they could have gotten all the trim they wanted if they were kept alive forever with conjugal visits. Like, no one's
doing that.
truly canceled. Like, even those dudes could get laid.
No, if you're murdered, you're canceled.
Right,
Like if you
you're
walk
killed in a
outside and
Charles
fucking
Manson probably still gets put, like.
He's dead.
Is he dead?
He's
yes,
When he die?
Recently.
couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was married for a hot minute.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he died.
Let's talk about these doctors.
Yeah. So
Pouring out for Charlie.
people, they weren't wild about having dead bodies dug up back then, but doctors needed to learn about anatomy. They need to learn things. Keep in mind, this riot that we're talking about happens 11 years before, I believe. It's either 7 or 9 or 11 years, I can't remember, before a doctor treated George Washington for his illness by bleeding him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by bloodletting him.
So this is before bloodletting?
No, it's during bloodletting.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying bloodletting went on for a decade after
Yeah.
this riot, at least.
Because of this riot over cadavers and anatomy
It
practice?
has nothing to do with it. I'm just saying that's how shitty medicine was
Oh,
at
okay,
the time.
okay.
All right, so keep in mind what doctors are operating with knowledge-wise.
Okay.
George Washington had a really sore throat, and they took a pint of blood out of him.
Yeah. Checks out.
Yeah, I agree.
They got the itchy blood out of his throat.
Every time I have gas, I just jab myself in the stomach with a fucking kitchen knife.
Got to relieve the
Yeah.
pressure. Yeah.
See, my body does it naturally. It's called Crohn's disease. Just comes right out of my butthole.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like evolved, if anything.
the most evolved here.
You're
by far.
like when Magneto's like, we're not freaks, we're the next evolution of human beings.
Okay. Katie and I talk about this a lot.
Which version of Magneto was that?
They're both the same version.
But like, which actor?
Younger or older?
Yeah.
Well, you mean my impression?
Yeah.
Oh, it was neither.
Okay.
Katie and I talk about this beyond human thing. She's like, my wife has blonde hair, blue eyes. She's like truly Aryan looking. Mm-hmm. She was born with no wisdom teeth, and she has O negative blood.
Yeah.
Which is like universal donor. Mm-hmm. So it's like, was she a Nazi Germany?
Yeah, do you think she's
experiment?
deep state Nazi?
Yeah, was she?
I don't know.
Marrying you?
Man.
Just trying to take you out?
Whoa. Wait, and you're Jewish.
Whoa, yeah, I know.
What's your sperm going to do to her eggs?
I think her eggs will like vaporize my sperm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
They'll
not
reject
even-
it.
They're not. Your sperm's not getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a 100% chance.
It's that Iron Dome
When
like
you-
Israel has with the Hezbollah missiles that come in.
Yeah.
That's my wife's
Shoots it
eggs.
down.
There's
Yeah.
well, I actually think you'll still fertilize them, but the baby will come out instead of crying like, will come out being like, just.
It's
Or
just
just
gonna
like hell bent on killing me.
Yeah, it's Normandy in your wife's uterus.
What if it's like butterfly effect where the egg realizes it was fertilized by Jewish sperm,
It just kills itself?
strangles itself with the umbilical cord and the.
Yeah.
This is fun.
This is great for me.
Yeah.
Can't wait for
Anyway,
Katie.
we're not even into this yet. So, medicine at this time super unregulated. Not a great time
No
to be.
FDA?
Nah, not really. So they had to grave rob essentially to get a lot of bodies, right?
There's just doctors robbing graves and cutting
Constantly,
people's arms.
constantly.
And they're probably being like, there's other grave robbers too. Just like, hey, you're
Other
gonna take
ones.
that. You're gonna take that. You're gonna take that.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're just here for the body.
Well,
you can take the gold.
I imagine it was a bit of an industry where like the grave robbers took the jewelry and shit for themselves and then dropped the body off.
Oh, they doubled up.
Yeah, at the doctors. There is a scene like
smart
that.
ones.
I wrote this in there later, but there's a scene like that from Gangs of New York.
There is a scene like that from Gangs of New York.
Hence my Bangs of New York reference. It was just on my mind. But yeah, so people, the doctors or whomever, were digging up these bodies and experimenting on them, fucking cutting them apart, looking at their internal organs. It was seen, other than sacrilegious, just fucking weird and perverted. Do you know what I mean? Because they would dig up women and men.
Yeah.
So it was seen as like perverse as well.
Because you see the vagina.
Yes, you see the pussy. And there's actually a scene in Deadwood about this too. So one of the most common graveyards to be dug up was the Black graveyard. Ooh. Known as the Negroes' Burial Ground. And they went and...
They should probably change the name of that.
They took. I don't think it's still called that. In fact, it probably doesn't even exist anymore. Like, there's probably like a building on top of it.
Yeah, they never exhumed the bodies and moved them. They just...
You got a real poltergeist situation.
There's a Ramada Inn on top of that thing.
I hope that's what it is.
Very haunted Ramada.
Yeah, but people knew this was happening, and the black population in New York, both slave and free, is 1788. There are still slaves in New York.
Oh yeah, there is.
They petitioned the Common Council of New York City, which I didn't look up, but I assume it's kind of like the city council, right? And they wrote, young gentlemen in this city who call themselves students of the psychic, apparently. Students of the physic. Physic, that's it. There's a
Not
PH.
physique, but physique.
Yeah. And who, under the cover of night, in the most wanton sallies of excess, dig up bodies of our deceased friends and relatives of your petitioners, carrying them away without respect for age or sex. So they're accusing them of taking women and children.
Right.
Dead women and children. And, this time of history, along with most times of history prior to basically like post-World War II, a lot of dead kids.
Well, yeah. Also, grave digging's been looked down upon for a long time too, since forever.
Grave digging, grave robbing.
Yeah.
But people also do it constantly.
Yeah.
People don't really grave rob anymore. Grave robbing
it used to be way bigger. Yeah.
really big.
We should bring it back.
Run back grave robbing.
Let's do it.
We can listen to DMB on the way.
Yeah, but nobody's ever actually buried with like cool shit anymore, right?
No, it's just like a few trinkets. I remember
Like, what's in them?
I want a
What's actually in
sarcophagus.
a?
I want a
Are they called
sarcophagus.
mausoleums?
Mausoleums. That's still just bodies and shit. I mean, they'll
there
be buried
anything
with
cool
jewelry.
in it?
Like women will be buried with jewelry. Men might have a wedding ring. I mean, my wedding ring's worth $500, or it's worth the price of gold.
I saw a
The most
child
valuable thing.
play with a ruby the size of a head.
Is it your Michael
Is it
Caine?
tangerine?
Tangerine.
Tangerine.
Yeah.
A sort of child
The
play
most
with
valuable
the
thing is
ruby.
the marble that the mausoleum is probably made out of.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But they went on to say, you get jewelry and shit. Even then, like they're not buried with it. They're not pharaohs, right? Like they're not buried with just a mountain of gold or anything like. But you might get a little bit of gold or just some nice jewelry that you can sell on the fucking street. It's free to dig up a grave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not like you're getting copper wire.
ROI
Not
is
in the South. Just
ROI is infinity on a dug up grave.
Yeah.
Thing. It's one shovel and that's it.
probably
And
rip
also,
apart the
if you're
coffin
robbing-
too.
if you're robbing
Probably some cool things
graves-
on the coffin.
Maybe if there's like gold on the coffin or something. But I gotta say, if you're robbing graves, you probably aren't super concerned with like ROI percentage, and
Yeah, that's not even a calculation.
you probably
make.
don't know what ROI means.
Yeah.
So ROI not super.
No, the ROI is great.
By the way, it should be noted the petitioners did not ask. These black petitioners did not ask for the grave robbing to stop. Only that it be conducted. This is what they wrote, with the decency and propriety which the solemnity of the occasion requires. Which I don't know what propriety usually goes into grave robbing.
Well, everyone has their own style.
Yeah. Like I don't know if like some doctors were just like taking a shit in the hole after they left.
They were just like kicking dirt back like a dog. Yeah.
That's his calling card.
My guess is since the petitioners were black and it was
Deuce.
my guess is since the petitioners were black and it was 1788, they were just like, let's just ask for something realistic.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Like we know they're not
Like,
going
can
to
you
stop.
just be nice about it?
Yeah, I mean,
that's terrible.
We got to get rid of these pie in the sky dreams.
Yeah.
Let's just be like pragmatic about asking them what to do with our corpses.
Yeah. God,
The corpses are the people we love.
Yeah. Can you not just chuck them into a chuck wagon?
Yeah. Anyway, no one cared because they're black.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
And that's in my notes. That's not me just making a joke. Yeah, no one cared. Whatevs.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
seriously.
They were like, whatever. But on February 21st, 1788, exactly 3 days and 202 years before my birth, a newspaper in New York published a report saying that doctors had dug up a white woman
Oh, no.
from Trinity Churchyard.
Snowflake.
Well, these
Snow Bunny?
There's Snowflake.
Well, these snowflakes got real pissed off at that one. People were not happy because now, even though they were already, but for what it's worth, they were digging up white people before.
Yeah.
I think in a place called Potter's Field, there are a bunch of graves, and we're talking poor people, probably for the most part. Like you're not cracking into a mausoleum type of thing.
No, it's a loose plot of dirt.
Yeah, with like a real like 2x4 casket situation.
Yeah,
if that even.
It's
If
just a
that.
hole
They
with
might be in a
person
fucking
it.
sack.
Yeah.
So, but it was reported finally that they had dug up a white woman from Trinity Churchyard. So at a church, that really pissed people off. Now, here's why I was going to get into, like you talked about earlier, here's why people weren't really down with dissection and, learning anatomy.
They didn't go to school.
What, you mean like the common man? Like the regular person?
Common man didn't go to school and didn't dissect a frog.
Are you trying to say, like, I learned when I was a sophomore in high school that
I
everyone
never
is
actually did that either.
everyone is a frog? I had to do that.
I actually dissected a fetal pig my sophomore year.
What?
Yeah.
A pig?
Yeah, I dissected a fetal pig.
Is that a small pig?
A fetal pig, a fetus.
Oh, a fetus.
Pig fetus.
Yeah, we had to do a fetal pig in school.
Why?
That's how you learned. They actually have a really similar anatomy structure to
Do they
humans.
factory farm pig fetuses?
They factory farm every fetus, even humans. Dan.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex.
There's a couple warehouses the size of Iowa in China, just full of fetuses.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Mostly Uyghur.
Yeah.
Well,
That word still makes me uncomfortable to say.
Uyghur?
Like aloud.
Like,
Like I have no confidence saying it.
You would have to stumble pretty badly to get that wrong in the way you're afraid of getting it wrong.
Yeah. I'm
If we
not
can't
taking
say-
a chance regardless.
We can't say that word anymore.
It's like you're saying like, yeah, I'm always afraid of falling in the shower, but you're like in the kitchen, and you're afraid you're gonna fall in the shower while you're standing in the kitchen.
It's still in the house. It's still a threat.
yeah, it's there. That shower is there.
It's just you step on an ice cube.
You can't say
and
that
like
word anymore?
slide all the way into the bathroom.
Damn banana peels. Why did I eat 17 bananas between the shower and the kitchen? Ugh. Yeah. Are you worried about the word? I'm going to say it, wigger. Are you worried about wigger right now?
You can't say that.
Yeah,
right?
that's out.
Is that
Jake's
really-
canceled?
Yeah, you're done.
Canceled.
Is that the word you're talking about, though?
Well, yeah.
Uyghur?
No, the word he's afraid of saying.
Oh,
is-
yeah.
You can't say that.
I mean, of course you can't. But, like, I just did.
Canceled.
Brave.
Oh, no. I didn't know that was the thing you couldn't say anymore.
I think it is.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, I get why you can't say it. I just didn't know it was, like, a hot topic.
Yeah, it's Wallack now.
Wafrican, Wamerican?
Yeah, it's Wafrican American now.
Wahogany.
That's the only. Chet Hanks is a Wafrican American. If we're getting into it. But we're not. We're moving on. We're all canceled now. Anyway, the reasons they didn't like dissection, people saw grave robbing, obviously, as an affront to the dead and a violation of the sacred nature of cemeteries. That checks out. A lot of Christians believed that only whole bodies could be resurrected by Jesus and go to heaven on Judgment Day.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is this Gangs New York scene like addresses that specifically. So what happens in that scene, even though it takes place like 1862 or something like that, is Leonardo DiCaprio and the gang, they fucking go onto a boat to try and rob it, but another gang is already out there or something like that, and so they kill the fucking other gang members, and they didn't get to rob the stuff on the boat, and so they were like, well, what do we do? And DiCaprio just throws the dead bodies of the gang members into, or maybe it was the ship crew, I can't remember because they killed the ship crew too, into the rowboat, and then they take it in, and they like give the bodies to a sketchy literally a doctor in a back alley, and he pays them a couple gold, and then he goes back to Bill the Butcher, and he's like, oh, look, I got a little money out of it. This is what happened. And Bill the Butcher is like right-hand man. He's like some Irish guy. He's like, it's a sin. You need to be sitting in a wooden court until Judgment Day, the way it was intended. And Bill the Butcher's like, shut up, you fucking potato-eating fuck. Like, Jesus ain't real.
Gotta love Bill the Butcher.
Yeah.
Just real, pragmatic, true.
Yeah.
Is that Daniel Day-Lewis in the
Yes,
movie?
of course.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
So they thought that, like, really it was a thing. Like, if your body gets fucked up or if it leaves the ground type of thing, like, you're not going to go to heaven. When Jesus comes back, I don't know why Jesus would want your corpse if you also have a soul. I don't know what, like, I guess you're just sleeping. I don't know. It's,
Have you not read Revelation?
no, not in a long, long time. And even then, not
Well,
much.
It's canonical. So
Yeah, that's
you should
fair
read
enough.
it.
Also, in England, another reason they weren't into dissecting bodies. In England, it was routinely executed criminals that were dissected. So that was kind of like a fate for murderers, child molesters, thieves who were poor.
And yeah, anyone that stole a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Jaywalkers.
That type of thing. Prostitutes who deserved it.
They shouldn't have dressed like that if they didn't want to be dissected.
Yeah, I don't disagree. You show
Someone
that
that
much
missed
skin, how
church
can I
on
not want to
Sunday.
dissect you?
That's how it
Cover
works.
up.
Yeah.
Cover up.
You showed an ankle? Boom.
Yeah. If you show me an ankle, I'll show you a bone. Your bone. From your ankle.
From the ankle.
Hot.
What's hotter than that? Nothing's more naked than a skeleton, which is why it turns me on the most.
If you think about it, your skeleton's wet right now.
Dude, tight.
Yeah.
But in some, like old school, like 1800s classes, weren't the skeletons in classrooms actually skeletons?
Yeah.
What do you mean 1800s?
That still
now.
happens. Yeah.
Those are fucking hobo skeletons.
Yeah, there's a lot of real skeletons in classrooms.
Yes.
No, there's not.
Yes,
Yes,
there
there is.
fucking is.
There is.
I had a
There's
real
a lot.
skeleton in my class.
There's a lot
in
of
8th
real
grade
skeletons.
in goddamn 1999.
Well, he went to a religious school, don't forget.
Yeah. We dipped that hobo in acid.
Was it like the?
That hobo's name was Jerry Goldstein.
I was gonna say it was probably the priest of the.
No, the skeletons are real.
Okay.
Well, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
No one's. Skeletons are real.
Yeah, no one's
No, I
denying
said
the
the
skeletons are
skeletons
real.
are real.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen a bone.
You've seen your bone.
I've seen both my bones pop out of my leg.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, it's not.
But yeah, so people were like, don't treat my dead wife or dead kid like they're a fucking criminal. And people also thought that criminals deserved to be dissected. Like that's just an extra punishment for them after death. Like
Yeah,
they
why
deserve to
not?
get fucked with.
Yeah, why not?
Like after you're dead, they'd still deserve to get like shit and pissed on type of thing. Anyway, wait for Jake to get back here for this. Pulling a real Rob today. Why not?
Well, you should have said something funny.
Yeah, you've
And
done
then we
something like.
could have clipped it without Jake.
Yeah,
I was saying, I don't know.
usually when you get up the 1 or 2 times an episode, you do it. We say funny stuff.
Yeah, we usually throw nothing but heat.
Yeah, we're
Once
just
you're
like
gone.
we're just we're like power fucking it, and you're just like, oh, Jake's gone.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because you
goes
guys are no
completely
longer
soft.
intimidated by my presence when I'm here. It's you get to really open up.
Yeah, we just go full subs, dog. So
Yeah.
Also
So
that
immediate creative.
you guys have an extra connection.
oh, a failed podcast.
Yeah. Well, don't we all?
We're all connected by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are all three literally
Yeah.
connected by that. So anyway, the riot begins is what I wrote to head this next section. Reports of how this Doctors Riot started varied, but they all involve a couple boys playing near the New York hospital.
Okay.
Like every good story starts.
Yeah, just a couple of young boys.
Just some good old boys.
Playing by the hospital.
Yeah, chasing a fucking pigeon around. I don't know how people played back then.
What kind of hospital is up and about in
Yeah,
1788?
the hospital in 1788 is like a fucking shack.
Well, it's not very big, but
It's
it
a
is
shack with a table and a saw.
it is a real building. I think it's made of brick. I saw a drawing of it. It is a real building.
That's the historical evidence of it.
Well, it was a legit drawing. Like it was like a drawing from the newspaper. Blah blah blah. Like it wasn't a shanty. These people were sketchy. They weren't that sketchy.
Okay.
So there's 3 stories of how the riot started. Story number 1 is the boys saw a severed arm hanging out to dry in one of the windows of the hospital, and were like, "Oh my god!" and ran away. Don't know why you would be curing a human arm.
Making some jerky.
I was about
Yeah.
to say that's how you make jerky. Best stuff right there. Mm-hmm. Got to salt it first though.
It's a process.
And presumably those boys would know that, so they just thought that the hospital was making people jerky.
Fair.
Yeah, cured people meat. And I don't fucking know, but that scared them.
If you didn't know, but then you found out after, and it tasted good, would you eat human again?
No.
I wouldn't, but I also wouldn't feel bad about it. I'd
Yeah,
be like,
you
well, what
didn't
do
know.
you want me to do?
Yeah, I just ate it.
Yeah, that's a scene in Red Dragon. Hannibal
what if
Lecter
it-
feeds
what-
them the shitty violinist or whoever it was. He feeds them the shitty violinist from the orchestra because he's so shitty and he hates him.
I tried a pianist in college. It wasn't for me though.
Ew.
Yeah.
What's like what if it's the best meat you've ever had?
It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be human.
And even still,
But check it out. What if it was?
but it's not.
it wouldn't be. First, I've heard humans kind of like pork, and pork's not the best
It's-
meat I've ever had.
It's the Pacific Islanders of the time referred to it as long pig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Puppy is the
And
best meat I've ever
white
had.
people taste the worst. by the
yeah,
way.
I prefer horse, but yeah,
You're a horse guy?
big horse guy.
All right. That's fair.
Only thoroughbreds.
I like, I also, in addition, if we're talking meat, I like calamari.
So aliens,
Stuff that thinks.
aliens. Yeah.
Ah, man, I can't do baby octopus anymore. I got it at a Korean barbecue place, and they just throw it cold, like onto the Korean barbecue,
Yeah.
and they all like swirl around and move like they're alive, and that just ruined it for me.
Whoops.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes in any movie ever is Old Boy, the original one, not Spike Lee one. Maybe this happened in the Spike Lee one. I didn't watch it. Where the guy walks into like the restaurant. It might have been a sushi restaurant. I don't remember. Walks into a restaurant and he's like, just had gotten out of like, not jail. I think he had just been like fucking kept captive.
Yeah, an old boy?
Yeah.
He's kept captive. Yeah.
And he gets out and they're like, what can I serve you? And he's like, I want to eat something living.
Yeah.
And
They got that.
And the people were like, "Oh, okay, off the living, yeah, like it's an appetizer, like appetizers, living, salads."
Well, you got to put so much stank on it, man.
Yeah.
You got that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, "Live, all right, yeah, we'll get you something alive." Jesus
Yeah, we
Christ.
got that.
And they give him a
We got
living
that.
octopus, which, by the way, something with suction cups has got to be one of the worst possible living things you could eat.
It can suck to your mouth. Yeah, still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People still eat it.
He should have been like chicken, maybe.
Live chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross.
I don't know, like a shaved gerbil, a bat. Oh,
That
no,
is too specific. We do not have that B-roll.
a shaved gerbil. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I love that. So that was number one. Story number two was that these boys climbed a ladder to peek inside of the hospital, see what kind of fucked up shit they were doing. And a doctor, in the middle of doing anatomy work, dissecting a body, was holding a severed arm, saw the boys, and then used the severed arm to wave at the boys.
That's awesome. I bet it's that one.
That one.
That's
I choose that one.
That one's my favorite as well.
You may be speaking too soon.
Oh,
Okay. What's door number 3?
Love myself a good old fashioned setup.
Yeah. No, it's what is it? What's the door? The 3-door show?
I fucking know.
You know what I'm talking about, though. Where like behind one zone is a
Behind door
donkey.
number one. Yeah.
If the third story a donkey, I'm gonna be pissed.
So story number 3 is the boys were peeking in, and the doctor waved the arm, and we're like, "Didn't your mom die recently? This is your mom's arm."
Even better. So like they heard all that was that long
Yeah.
exchange.
No, it's too unbelievable.
No, the second one.
Door number 2.
Yeah, door number 2, please.
Then the boy ran home. This story's not over. Then the boy ran home to tell his dad, who went to his wife's grave to see if it was true. He dug up the casket, opened it, and there was no body inside.
Oh, okay. That's pretty macabre. but-
Yeah. It would have been funnier to me, by the way, if her whole body was there except for the arm. And they're just like, "Yeah, we just need an arm. We just need to look at an arm
Hack
today."
it off right here in the field.
Why not?
Field strip that baby.
Yeah, just
Let's
take
go.
the shovel and yeah. So the dad was obviously fucking furious and got a little mob together and they stormed the New York hospital. Doctors, including Richard Bailey, the main guy, potentially the arm waver, I don't know, and med students hid or got the fuck out of there as fast as they could. One of the doctors or med students hid in a chimney, which I wanted to say was the worst place to hide.
Yeah.
Because if they find out you're in there,
They start a fire.
yes, they don't have to
Plus,
get you out of there.
It's not like that place. I mean, there's so many chimney sweepers at that time that, I mean, it's the first place they probably look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
So doctors weren't very smart back then. That's what I'm trying. Maybe he was panicking. It was just like chimney.
That's like a struggle panic, though. You got to fit
It
your way up
yeah,
there.
it really fucking is.
Chimneys are gross, too. Like, that's the last place I'm going.
But was it a old exec board where you had a fraternity get kind of in hot water because they had a chimney sweeping party?
That was a pitch I made. I pitched that every time we filmed. I wanted
shit.
to have a kid where they made him the old-timey chimney sweep pledge.
And
then
it
the
looks
soot-
like it's blackface.
The soot on his face would be
Yeah.
blackface.
Yeah.
Rob wouldn't let me do it.
It would be a Mary Poppins hose and chimney sweep bros party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that is a good one.
I know. I'm just giving you credit. then.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Canceled.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
That's
the
the headline
that's
of the
the
student
that's the name of
newspaper.
the episode.
Yeah. Fuck.
We
gotta
can
run
do
that
it.
back.
Do we run
Call
it back?
Bergman. Call Bergman.
Spare bedroom,
Yeah, spare exec board.
exec board.
Fuck, that's a good one.
I don't know if we own the rights to that.
Exec board?
Yeah.
I don't think I do. Whatever. Anyway, the rioters got into the anatomy room, and Colonel William Heath wrote that they found 3 fresh bodies. One boiling in a kettle.
Fuck yeah.
Which I don't know. This is how bad medicine
big's a
was then.
kettle?
They were just like, all right, well,
Gets the hair off.
what do we do with this one? Should we try boiling it?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Boil everything.
Yeah, well, they do kind of boil everything back then. Throw some potatoes in there, see what happens. Just fucking see what happens.
Nice little homemade stew.
Well, it's probably easier to remove the skin and the tendons and things like that, and the fat probably renders better when you
When
boil
it's
it.
soft. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean it's probably easier. You're pulling the sinew and the stuff out and off the body that way easier because it's detaching.
Wow. I really saw that and was like, I think they were just guessing. But you're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
And 2 others. Okay, so 3 fresh bodies, 1 boiling in a kettle, and 2 others cutting up. Here's the best part. With certain parts of the 2 sexes hanging up in most brutal position.
Oh, so they were just like wall hanging. They were doing some George O'Keefe art.
They were, they were just like dicks and titties and pussies hanging up in the lab.
Yeah.
On hooks?
Yeah, I would guess on hooks. I don't think they were nailing them to the wall, but I can't put anything
Scotch
past.
tape. It was Scotch tape.
Can't put anything past an 18th century doctor.
No.
By the way, Scotch tape back then is just a term for a drunk Scotsman nailing something to a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the mob ran in, saw a bunch of fucking wieners and boobs.
Saw his mom's
boiling
titties.
person.
And a boiling person.
His mom's severed titty. Just hanging by a hook.
Yeah, this guy whose wife he was pretty sure had been taken to the hospital runs in hoping to find her, and there's just titties on the wall.
Sorry. That's hilarious.
So anyway, that really riled him up.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this guy was Irish. I don't know why.
Or
just
like
sounds-
Scottish. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem. It's like, it's me wife's bags. I don't know. I can't do a Scottish accent. What are you doing, Boyle? I can do Irish, can't do Scottish.
It's like kind of the same.
It's almost there.
It's like a dumber It's like,
I would think it's the
You just gotta
the
go with-
soft U
what
is
are you
different.
doing, Boyle? Wait, there's my wife's. There are my wife's breasts on the wall. Like,
Yeah.
there are my wife's bags on the wall.
You just go full Willy.
yeah.
Groundskeeper
You do
Willy.
have to go full groundskeeper Willy.
Yeah,
for sure.
of course.
Which, by the way, as an aside, I understand why
here we go again.
Indian people are upset about Apu. I do understand that, but literally every ethnicity was portrayed that way in The Simpsons.
The whole point of The Simpsons is it's a stereotype of everybody.
Groundskeeper Willie is literally as offensive of a Scottish
You mean the drunk guy that lives in the shed at school?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
imagine
then
that.
they have a guy, he's not in it very much, but Luigi, like the Italian cook, is like, oh, my meatballs.
Or the fucking bumblebee guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, I think voiced by Hank Azaria.
Yeah.
Hank Azaria was they're just like, you're the brown guy. You're the minority guy.
Just do all the voices,
Yeah.
man. You're great.
I don't
Yeah.
think he did Willie, though, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, the mob, furious, grabbed the doctors and students who had stuck around to try and protect their severed breasts and dicks and shit. Maybe at real shit, I don't know. They dragged them out into the street, and we're going to, turn them into corpses to be dissected, I assume. But the mayor backed the mob off long enough to take the doctors and med students to jail. Not because they did anything wrong, just to protect them.
Right.
Like, let's just put them in jail. Put them in our fort. Like, put them in our little fort, put them in cells. They can't be walking the streets. Like, they're going to get fucking murdered. Then the mob instead took all the severed limbs and boiling bodies into the street and burned them respectfully, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's like the flag touches the ground. You got to set it on fire.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, my wife's titties touched a hook, so I got to light them on fire.
That's the code I live by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone ever cuts off my wife's boobs and puts them on a hook, I will light
I truly hope
those
that
boobs
doesn't
on fire.
happen.
Well, I
you just
agree.
gotta-
I'm not hoping for it.
Right. But when it's on the ground, you go full Cortez, Just got to burn those boats.
Burn it. Just got to burn it fucking all, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, night falls. Mob disperses. Got other stuff to do. Got to sleep, I guess. I don't know. The next morning.
You can't riot all night.
No, you can't.
Gotta get, especially back then.
Ask Ferguson.
Well, everyone went to
Nah,
bed.
that honestly, that shit never lasted past like midnight.
That's a long time for a fireball riot, but
Yeah,
sure.
but
No,
like in
the
the late 1700s, how late do you think they stayed up till? Maybe 9? Maybe.
I think they
we got to stop assuming that people that lived 300 years ago
were born
stupid.
old.
Yeah, are stupid and like
No, they just didn't have electricity. There's no lighting.
they have fire, Dan.
Barely.
The streets, someone would walk around with
streets are on fire.
and light lanterns.
Yep. Yeah, they had light.
They have
had to
light
get
at
up
night.
Things
early.
happen at night.
They had to
Pubs
get up
didn't-
early for a good harvest, you know?
Not in the... Anyway.
Why do we do this?
Yeah, I don't know. The next morning, the mob got back together because the night before was really gratifying for them, apparently. Like, fuck these doctors. And I don't blame them for saying fuck these doctors because, like, at this point, what does a doctor do except show up and be like, yeah, your son does have yellow fever. I'll cut 2 of his fingers off and see if that helps. Oh, it didn't. He was crying.
he's
and
dead.
Yeah, he's dead, fucking dead now. So,
bled out.
Anyway, give me $20 and, I don't know, call me when one of the other kids starts dying. Because, like, most of them are gonna keep fucking her. You just play the odds at this point.
Law of averages, man.
Yeah.
You got to make a lot of kids.
Worst case scenario, you have 0 kids or 20 kids.
Same with NFL quarterbacks. Just keep drafting quarterbacks.
Just keep a quarterback every year.
One will hit.
Also, by the way, if you did just burn every pick on a first-round quarterback and you ended up with like 3 really good quarterbacks, couldn't you get more in draft stock from those quarterbacks than you could if you traded the pick itself?
Correct.
Yeah, just draft quarterbacks.
It's the best strategy, really.
Always
Just keep running back.
Always
If you're
draft
in the top
quarterbacks.
10, you should draft a quarterback.
Because people would rather take a person who's been in the league 2 years watching film and being on the sideline and practicing than a kid out of college, right? Oh, man, they should be just drafting quarterbacks every fucking time.
Yeah, I guess it's all the narrative you put together. Like, oh, yeah, he's looked great in practice.
Yeah.
He balls out in preseason. Yeah.
Draft quarterbacks. So anyway, the mob was like, okay, where the fuck are some other doctors? Let's just fuck up fuck doctors. Let's fuck up doctors. So they figured out they head to Columbia University's medical school.
Columbia College at the time, I believe.
Probably, yeah. Famed Columbia alum Alexander Hamilton gets wind of this and meets them.
He's still alive at this point?
Yes. He dies in the 19th century, so
Really?
he's got time.
Burr doesn't get got
He
by
hasn't
Burr?
gotten off by Burr yet.
19th
Okay.
century.
Yeah.
What year?
I don't know.
Early, I don't know. I think it's
18
pre-War of 1812 if I had to guess. I'll look it up. Well, cuz we like to give people facts.
I'm going to say 1807.
or just
That's
listen.
fact.
I'm going to say 1805. No, 06.
Cool.
What is it?
04.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway,
And now you know.
Alexander Hamilton meets on the steps and he's like, oh, he's all uses his like fancy educated language, like, please, science and reason, and we're helping the city. And they were like, fuck you, college boy. We know they're nailing titties to the wall in there.
Yeah.
We know what they're fucking doing, cutting off wieners and titties and putting them on the wall. And Alexander Hamilton didn't have a good rebuttal to that. And anyway, they just pushed past him. He's like, he didn't fuck him up.
He's
Yeah, he
about
was-
4'11".
Right.
He's too busy spitting bars, man.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that part missed. I wish that part didn't get taken out of the musical.
That'd be the best
Should have
part.
been in the fucking musical, but whatever. Yeah. So the Columbia doctors, they pushed past it. They wanted to get in there, see what was in there. The Columbia doctors, however, were smart. They heard about what happened yesterday and, got rid of all the bodies or whatever the fuck else before the mob could show up at their place. Which, by the way, just makes me picture some med school student or some intern just pushing a wheelbarrow full of severed arms and dicks in the middle of the night.
There's just a hole behind
Just
Columbia.
like, they're just dumping it in a hole and filling it with dirt.
You ever been to Central Park? That's where it is.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Just severed fucking limbs and shit.
Mostly arm ghosts in Central Park.
Yeah, it's just
really
weird. The mob looked everywhere, including dorm rooms, just to look for
That sounds like they were on a panty raid.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Women weren't going to school.
No. Looking for any signs of dissection or anatomical experimentation, which is pretty funny to me, by the way, that they were like, check his fucking room. Like maybe like he's doing fucking like dissection.
That's homework. Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know what's more unlikely that they would, or what's more likely that. Here's actually what I'll just say. It wouldn't surprise me, considering how fucked up these people were, that they were like, I'm just going to take this arm back. Like, I'm just going to take this guy's fucking leg back and look at it for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I just like, sometimes you like to do your homework in your dorm.
I got a rice cooker back in my place. I'm going to just throw a couple toes in there and peel the skin off.
Yeah, see what's going on.
He's fucking it.
That I have to also assume was going on, not...
Yeah, why does this foot have two
Before
holes?
dissection, I assume anyone that's keeping the corpse when they're digging up a grave is fucking the corpse.
It always comes down to fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even now, I feel like weird about. So this is a little aside. Both my grandmother and grandfather on my mom's side.
Oh no, where's this going?
What?
Were not as tight as I thought they would be. I mean,
They give their bodies to science.
they
or something?
gave their bodies to St. Louis University to the medical school, and then like they get like you get buried for free if you do that, and also my grandfather was a graduate of St. Louis University, so that's one of the reasons he did it.
My realtor actually went to SLU.
Oh,
Yeah.
you.
Do you think your
Billikens all
grandma's like
around.
a skeleton in a SLU classroom? Is that
Not-
weird?
It's not. It's a non-zero proposition.
That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if like you
It's
just
weird enough to me that a bunch of strangers saw my grandma's dead body naked.
That is kind of strange.
That's what I was going with. That it's like I had to think about it, and like at some point, someone had to like walk in to see my grandfather's dead body and be like, "Is dick's always that small? Is this like a dead thing? Like what's going on?
There's no blood flow. It makes sense.
What the fuck?" Or
You just got out of the boiling bath. Yeah, it's
they're
tiny,
like,
bro.
like they walk in and like my grandma's naked on the fucking slab on the fucking table, and they're like,
and they're like,
oh.
they're like, man, she's used up.
Yeah, or like,
Yeah.
did my grandmother's body like horrify someone so much that they quit being a doctor? There's just so many horrible questions.
If that's true,
that you can't
they
go-
shouldn't have been a doctor.
Right? Oh, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
It's just there's just so many horrible questions that come to mind. Even though giving your body to science is like a noble thing to do,
Is it?
not at this point in time.
No.
Not in
no one was
1788.
doing it. No one was
When
doing
they were
it.
just like, cut up that arm and throw it in the oven. But
Sure.
yeah, in 2008, sure, why not? I think we had things under control by then.
Same thing.
We're talking about a 300-year time difference.
So
here.
wait. So they do all this Columbia shit, and then what do they do next?
So the mob searched everywhere, the dorms, blah, blah. Finally, the mob was like, fuck this. We know there's doctors in that jail. Let's just go back there. So they assembled outside the jail and just chanted, bring out your doctors. Because they wanted some doctors to fuck up. They weren't going to bring them out, though.
No, of course
Oh, they
not.
didn't oblige?
Right. No, they didn't oblige. And there were about 5,000 people at this point.
Jesus, really? Just
Yeah.
like bring out the
5,000
doctors.
people.
There was
I
no
assume-
Pontius Pilate just wiping his hands clean.
No.
You have them. Have the doctors.
I assume like 400 of them were mad, and the other, 4,600 were just like, yeah, dude, let's fucking rage. Like, fuck it.
It's like, yeah, I want to be a part of something.
Yeah. I honestly think that's what happened.
There's nothing else going on.
I think
Stand
that's
up.
what
Hey,
happened at the insurrection.
stand up for something or fall for everything.
Right.
And by something, we mean anything. It really doesn't matter.
If I was, I just want to say, if I was 21 and I got caught in an unruly mob when I was drunk, I'm joining the mob.
I wouldn't be dumb enough to run into the Capitol.
No,
I'd be
I wouldn't have done that. But
Right.
Yeah. As soon as I saw people with guns, I'd be like,
I'm probably down in the 1700s.
oh,
Well, that's,
anything.
dude,
that's what I'm saying.
These
It's
are
like-
different rules at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Like-
someone was like, if I was drunkenly walking up to a crowd and I'm like, what's going on? It's like, these doctors are hanging titties on the walls. I'd be like, yeah, fuck them up. Let's
fuck
go.
these doctors.
Let's
Well,
go. Give me
so-
some fire.
So that kind of is to the point of this. So the 5,000 rioters are there. They're pelting the jail with bricks and rocks. One person somehow
Oh, dude.
got in.
Where'd these bricks come from?
Yeah, who put those slabs of bricks out?
Antifa, man.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Anti-doctor.
Who could possibly be paying 30 people? Like 30 people alone could never afford a $200 pallet of bricks. How could 30 people put enough money together?
It was George Soros.
Yeah. And then a U-Haul that you rent for a day for another $100. How could 30 people possibly?
Get that kind of scroll together.
No.
I don't know, man.
The only answer is Venezuela and George Soros.
Yes. I agree.
We all know it's happening, bro.
Yeah. Venezuela back then, probably not a country.
And another funny thing about look at there's a fucking slab of bricks waiting. Home renovations went up like fucking 1,000% during COVID, aka during when the George Floyd riots were happening.
What do you mean when you would need bricks?
Yes.
Yeah,
Among other things. Sure. Yeah. Potentially, depending on your home reno. You don't need bricks for the bathroom, probably. But
A lot of people probably don't need bricks in Texas.
but if you're putting in a fucking something in your in the backyard or
sure.
or redoing
I don't
some
know
stuff.
if downtown Minneapolis had fucking a brick reno need.
I'm not saying these are all
It's an
explained. I'm just
up-and-coming
saying.
city. What are you
yeah.
talking about?
Someone was showing that. No, but I saw a picture right. It was right before a protest in Dallas, and it was like a pallet of bricks near or in Highland Park.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, I think I know why that's there. I think someone's redoing their fucking patio.
Someone's redoing their guest house. That's bigger than my house.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that tweet specifically and was like, I don't even have the fucking energy to reply to this. Like, I don't need the ats.
No.
One way or the other. I don't need I don't want the ats.
Stay away from that.
Anyway, the militia was called in, of course, and there was I think a couple hundred, but they were ordered not to fire. They had their muskets, so they were ordered not to fire, hoping that just the sight of them would send the mob away. Armed men, hoping the sight of potential, deadly violence would make the mob rethink, or at least be like, all right, we're going home. Whatever.
You would think we would have learned the lesson from, a decade prior.
Boston Massacre type of thing? Yeah. This is big Boston Massacre vibes, and it's going to get even more big Boston Massacre vibes in a second. However, the sight of the militia did not deter the mob, and that might be because the mob thought they were, confronting sick perverts who were digging up their grandmothers and wives and dead kids and putting all kind of stuff in them. Like, it's hard to calm a person down when that person thinks a pasty creep with a gaunt face is shoving a telescope up their dead kid's asshole.
Dude, yeah. Why do you think, the QAnon shit is so hard to shake off people? It's like, if you go down to the core level of it, they're very upset about child trafficking. So, I get why it's hard to shake.
They're hard to calm down.
Yeah, it's like, no, if that was really happening, and to an extent it is, there is definitely high up people that have influence in child trafficking world, but it's like,
the CIA hasn't not trafficked a child.
Oh, yeah, if you want to talk about, if you want to get me in my wheelhouse, Dan likes
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so they weren't going fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
And so the mob kept throwing bricks and rocks. Finally, one of the bricks or rocks drilled Secretary of Foreign Affairs John Jay in the skull. He would go on to be the first Supreme Court justice a year later.
What were you doing? What are your qualifications? Hit by a brick at a Doctor Riot.
Yeah.
He just ate it.
Yeah, so the first Supreme Court justice ever had some fucking idiot, drunk, Scotsman just whip a brick at him.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then Revolutionary War hero General Baron von Steuben was hit by a brick.
You know what? I don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
Right.
With that name? No.
That's too Anglo?
Yeah.
That is German as shit. What?
Isn't that Anglo?
No. John Jay is Anglo.
Yeah, whatever.
Anglo's British.
Yeah. Anglo is literally
They're
British.
they're little tiny Brits that got rolled by the Vikings.
What is the... Oh, Germanic. Yeah.
Yeah, Von is German, I think, for the most part.
You deserved it. Whatever.
Anyway, he was hit with a brick, and troops loved him and shit, so the militia was like, fuck this, and opened fire.
Oh, yeah.
We're done.
That's all it takes. It's always a brick.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the Boston Massacre was, too?
Wait, John Jay took a brick, and they're like, we'll give him this one?
Yeah, well, he was just some nerd that was there to help, but then their boy, a literal, other soldier got hit, and a hero soldier got hit, and they were like, all right, we're done.
Not today.
Yeah. Cocking back the fucking flintlock and ready to roll. Anyway, about 20 people were killed, including 3 militia members when it was all said and done. Because obviously after the militia started firing, the bricks, everything.
They had a good, 2-minute period to
while they
return
reloaded.
fire.
Right, yeah. That's a bit of a
The
problem.
fact they didn't carry shields with those muskets really,
It wasn't really practical, actually. It was, these people knew what they were doing.
I assume they do.
What do you think the drummer boys were for?
Dying.
Yeah,
To rhythm.
soft little bodies to catch bullets.
It's imagine that. The guy with the drum died.
Crazy.
Get out of here. Get this. He didn't make it. He gave him an instrument during war.
He's at the front of the lines.
Imagine that.
I gotta say, we talk a lot of shit about 10-year-olds making our shirts and our iPhones, but drummer boy might be the worst job for a 10-year-old boy
we
of all
sent
time.
them to war without a weapon.
Hey, man, you got to have a sick beat when you're going to pop caps.
What
What
happens?
do you think drive-by music is?
And then when one drummer boy goes down, another drummer boy has to replace him.
Get
and
in
come up and
Get in there.
run
They
in
need
and
a
take the
beat.
drum.
They need a beat.
They're not like medics where they have the giant fucking.
It doesn't
symbol
matter.
on
This
their
is-
helmets.
Yeah, no, they don't need a Red Cross. They're making the most noise on the battlefield.
Well, they're also first off, you're acting like they're even taking cover. They're just in a big line.
Yeah.
Like they just catch random fucking
Yeah, but
bullets or whatever.
Is
There was
it a gentleman's move to take out the drummer boy?
it's got to not
a lot
be.
of times it's on accident. Like so, there was a example in the Civil War of a drummer boy, I think with the Union, and it's insane they were still doing this by the 1860s. But there's a drummer boy with the Union who won. I think it's Shiloh. I have to look all this up. I'm going off memory here. I think it was at Shiloh. It was a brave little drummer boy. The regiment loved him, and a cannonball. Yeah, a cannonball apparently made him explode like a tomato.
Can you imagine once they got like the freedmen into the drummer boy circuit? God, it must have been way better.
You know, you're the second person today to tell me black people were better at something black people would find offensive. The first one was Pete Rose. Pete Rose spent fucking 8 minutes today on our podcast. We had him on as a guest for Drinking Bros Sports, I guess, where he was like, you got to admit black people are faster and they want it more.
There's a difference between those two lines of logic, I'm going to say real quick.
And making
but
a sick beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
How many white
I
engineers
was
are
just
there
like, anyway, as Pete Rose was saying that, I was just like, God
other
damn
than
it.
One,
EDM
I'm using
DJs?
I'm using like noted. Have you seen Drumline? Because Nick Cannon slays, bro. But anyway,
Yeah, well, Nick Cannon would have gotten slayed.
Name one
he was
white
carrying a
rap
drum
producer.
anyway.
I'll wait.
Name what?
Eugene Levy.
Is that Drake's guy?
No, Eugene Levy.
The white rap producer?
Yeah, Eugene Levy
Like
is produced.
guy that makes beats is what I'm saying.
Oh, like Scott Storch.
Yeah.
I assume many a white DJ is Jewish, like a Jewish trust fund kid.
Yeah, no, but like Eugene Levy, the dad from American Pie, has produced a ton of rap.
Oh no, I'm talking. That's not a rap producer. Is a beat maker.
That's not.
That's what they're referred to as
Anyway.
producer. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
I don't care about this anymore. The aftermath of the Doctors Riot.
Yes, let's see.
After the riots, newspapers stopped running ads for doctors and med schools for a while. Just wasn't a good time to advertise health, or fake health anyway, mostly fake health. People would regularly go and inspect their loved ones' graves. Pretty nervous about it.
God, dude.
You just have to go. It's like go and check the dirt. Just go.
Is it tilled? Yeah.
Yeah. Like let's plant some flowers on top
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
like we're already here for the flowers. Just take a peek.
Take a couple looks, yeah. Armed groups known as Dead Guard Men were formed to guard cemeteries. So militias started popping up. Well, I don't know if it was militias like armed with guns or if it was like a club and knife situation with maybe some pistols and guns.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's the kind of character that the Undertaker should have been.
guarding the cemetery
He's
from grave robbers.
Yeah.
You're just totally ignoring how magnificent his backstory is.
The Undertaker?
Yeah.
Well, he goes through a whole phase where he becomes like the American badass, where he's like biker.
Okay. Yeah.
We
Then-
can skip over that.
Yeah.
But then his origin story with Paul Bear,
Well, then you bring in Kane, who is
right? His brother,
from hell.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
very
Everyone is.
Scorpion in
Yes.
Mortal Kombat.
Actually,
What came first, Kane or Scorpion?
Scorpion came before Kane.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Shit, did Vince McMahon just rip off Scorpion?
Kind of. With Kane.
Probably.
Rob is so angry at
No,
this.
I don't give a shit, actually.
WWE.
Dude, people rip each other off all the time and stuff like that. Oscar Isaac is about to play Moon Knight in the Marvel Universe, and that's literally just a rip-off of Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Just a rich guy?
He's also about to play.
apparently Thanos looks exactly like the DC. There's a DC, it's called like Darkseid. Thanos just looks like fucking Darkseid.
Yeah, but Marvel did it better.
Of course, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what
Like
else?
this fucking Moon Knight rip-off of Batman that Oscar Isaac is in is probably going to be better than the Pattinson Batman and anything else Affleck is in right now in the future. Like it's going to be
But not Christian Bale.
no, not Bale, but that's I
Bale
don't.
Batman is
but,
probably
but-
one
That's
of the best.
different. That's not
yeah.
DC.
By the way, I don't like Michael Keaton Batman.
I was about to say, are you more of a Michael Keaton or a...
I'm Christian Bale. I don't
Christian
like
Bale's
George
better
Clooney.
Batman.
I don't like Michael Keaton as
George Clooney
Shut
and
the fuck
Arnold.
up. You just like his nipples.
Not like Arnold.
You like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did the dinosaurs die? The Ice Age.
That's not even
Historically inaccurate, yeah.
for a doctor. He should know better.
No, he was just Mr. Freeze. Was he a doctor
He
also?
was a doctor in
And then
Batman Forever. Or Batman and Robin, rather.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I do not like Keaton as Batman, though. I do like, but the problem is in...
Well, Val Kilmer,
that-
I think, is better than Keaton, personally,
Yeah,
too.
but the problem is in Keaton's movies, the villains and shit are all like perfectly cast.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Especially Danny DeVito
DeVito
as Penguin
was-
and
yeah.
Michelle
Perfect
Pfeiffer as
Penguin.
Catwoman.
Yes.
Why wasn't Danny DeVito just the Penguin again?
I know. Fuck Colin
Pattinson?
Farrell. I love Colin Farrell, but fuck Colin Farrell. It needs to be Danny DeVito as the Penguin again.
Yeah, what? Wait, Colin Farrell is the Penguin?
Yeah. They made him fat.
Is that...
Kinda.
Has
It's
that come out
different.
yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Coming out like next year.
Yeah.
Boo.
It'll be a minute. And I don't care about it. I'll probably... Actually, I
I'm gonna
probably
watch,
won't see that.
I watch like every Batman movie that comes
Yeah,
out.
I'll
I'll
watch
just
it.
watch
I don't know
it.
if I'll see it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'll go to the
In
theater to see it.
theaters?
Yeah. Anyway, the other thing that happened was multiple New York City doctors put out notices in the papers saying that they never robbed any cemetery in the city. The problem is that the Negroes' burial ground and Potter's Field weren't in the fucking city. So
They weren't lying.
Yeah, they were definitely doing sketchy shit if that was their best excuse.
Yeah.
That definitely means that they were like, yeah, obviously we took people from those
It's
places.
like, I didn't murder anyone in the city.
They were
Did,
eventually...
did they have to put, like, do you think there were certain doctors that, like, were conflict free?
Actually, they want the opposite. So what people want is the opposite. They want conflict bodies. Like
Yeah.
executed criminals and shit.
Right.
They're
Yeah, but
fine
no-
to just dissect those.
So I'm saying doctors are conflict free where they don't experiment on any bodies.
Oh, no. Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
People don't even want a doctor. So what happened is it took a long time.
When did
Great
they
segue.
When did they get rid of the giant nosy?
We are
things?
long past that
Yeah,
at this
okay.
point. Yeah, we're long past the bird mask.
The mask.
Yeah.
The plague mask?
Yeah, we're long past the plague mask.
I like to think those things existed for a good 500 years.
Yeah. Those weren't really for anything other than the plague, though. Like people weren't delivering babies.
You've clearly never been to an orgy, but yeah.
Eyes wide shut.
Fidelio.
But it took a long time for doctor to not be considered a creepy, seedy profession in New York.
How could it not?
Like you didn't want your daughter marrying a doctor
Yeah,
for a
okay.
long time.
Okay, let me explain to you what doctors do. You go in, oh, you're dying. They just tell you you're dying.
Right.
Like they discover the thing, and if they didn't discover it, then it never happened.
Here,
That's like
take these fucking Oxycontin.
Well, or
Yeah.
it's like in Deadwood, kind of, where the doctor's just like putting ointment on prostitute vaginas and assholes and shit, or dicks.
and then
they're-
not washing their hands.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
they're just like, here you go, that'll get the burn down. You can make some money today.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Just like serving the worst people and not doing a good job when they serve good people.
Yeah.
It's really, and even for the doctors that the rich hired, I just don't, I'm pretty sure it just wasn't a reputable situation for a long time.
No.
I couldn't tell you when it ended exactly. And you know what? Doctors were kind of creepy. And a lot of people thought that outside of New York because between 1765 and 1854, there were 17 different anatomy riots
Oh my God.
throughout the country.
So you're talking about, like, you just told us a story about one zoomed in, but there was 17.
In Cleveland, Baltimore, New Haven, Connecticut, all over the
It was a
fucking...
movement.
Do you
Yeah.
think it all started with a guy going like, hey?
Yeah, it's all an arm, all a severed arm wave.
Yeah, just like, hi.
Hello, boys.
Yeah, the real joke is that was just the dude's dick. Just a well-hung dude. There
With
he
the
is,
hand on the
waving, waving a
Yeah.
wiener around.
That would actually be even better. I mean, it's just like, hello, boys.
And how far they came when they just showed John Dillinger's dead body and he had a fully torqued penis.
That's his knee.
Fully torqued
I
dick
like to choose
with
it.
all the thoughts there, with all the 30s thoughts, depression thoughts.
All those flapper girls.
No, it's post flapper.
No, there's some girls that were late on the trend.
Yeah, like
Can you imagine getting into
Nebraska hadn't gotten to the 30s trends yet. They're still.
Right. Imagine being a flapper girl in the 30s.
Hold on. Nebraska's dealing with a whole lot of problems.
Well,
If they were late to the
Hey, just a couple flappers in Omaha.
Just the dust
Just like the
bowl.
3 Omaha flapper girls.
Oh, it's sure awfully dusty to be in all these sequins.
Oh, no.
I'll whiff.
No.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I
Panties are getting a little muddy during this dust bowl.
gross.
Hey-oo.
Mud snatch.
Doctors would love that. Doctors would love to see a mud
That would
snatch.
be a diagnosable
They'd be like, hey, boy,
disease.
intern boy, go outside, get me some mud. I'm putting it in this pussy.
Well,
Why? I don't know. We just have to try everything.
Yeah.
Science is trying everything,
It kind of is.
right?
I mean, that's how our vaccine worked.
Yeah.
Gotta try it all.
He tried it on a lot of fucking children. He's just like, hey, can we, your kid pop in here real quick? And then measles.
So it's like Pokemon. Got to try them all.
Yeah.
Just a little measles.
Just
It's
a little syphilis.
measles. Yeah. Come here, hobo boy. No one's going to miss you. What's your name? You don't have one.
I mean,
According to me and history.
I mean, yeah, if you want to look at like Tuskegee experiments.
That's even the best example. That's a well-documented example.
That no one learns about. Like,
Well,
I'm sure they do now, but
I don't need things like treating black people horribly to bum me out when I'm trying to like sit in 5th grade history and learn about like rad fighter pilots killing Hitler's soldiers.
It'd be insane if they taught 10-year-olds about the Tuskegee experiments.
Well, they teach 10-year-olds about slavery and shit.
They teach it the Dan way, though.
They kind of brush over it.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know how I win.
I actually don't think they brush over it as much as people say. It's just like, how much can you possibly intimate to a fucking 5th grader?
Oh, they can't even comprehend how terrible that probably was. Yeah,
Right.
no, they're like, oh.
And if a 5th grader can comprehend it, they've seen some shit and should be in a special school to where their emotions are being handled because
correctly. Yeah, right. Yeah. If they can empathize with that situation,
yeah, it's not like you.
Like they could feel bad about it, but like if they truly understand the plight, then that's terrifying.
There's just only, and that's always one thing that drives me nuts when they talk about education on that type of stuff. Is I'm like, I don't know how much you expect a child to empathize. Like when I read about something now, it like hits me way harder. Like the same thing even that I could have read like 20 years ago. It hits me harder.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know how much you want fucking Billy 5th grader.
No, I mean like you're literally telling him to be like, hey, really fucking dig deep into the 10 years of emotion you've experienced.
Anyone who's not crying gets an F.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, it's just like you can give them the facts and stuff. It's like, just don't tell them like, oh, they were singing songs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously, like that was.
Right, yeah, it's not Song of the South.
Yeah.
But
right.
like, yeah, just give them the facts. That's all. I mean, just give them the build the base.
Yeah.
With those kids, essentially. And
Yeah,
then
just tell them like, hey, this was a shitty thing we did.
Right, yeah,
And just really hammer home the Bible when you're in Catholic school. Really go in depth about the story of Fatima.
I was going to say, did you guys not have Passion Hour? Where you just watch the last hour of the Passion every day?
Always. We always did.
Yeah.
That's how we closed out every school day.
It's my favorite snuff movie. Passion of the Christ. It's so good.
They were making a second one.
Return of.
The Return of the King.
Well, he did return, so it's an
Apparently, he just hung out for 40
apt-
days. Still
and then
news
just
to me.
apt
went into the
title.
sky, yeah.
Okay.
Well, 40 days. He
He
hung out
said
for
40 days, and then he went to the sky.
Yeah, went to the sky. And then now he just hangs out more. Just chilling.
We're waiting.
Lives at his dad's place. Kind of pathetic.
Yeah, he lives with his dad. Fucking nerd.
Live with your dad? I mean, maybe he takes care of his dad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, after the riot, there was a couple nice things that happened. Anatomy acts known as bone bills were passed, including one named, not as catchy as the ones today, an act to prevent the odious practice of digging up and removing, for the purpose of dissection, dead bodies interred in cemeteries or burial places. Which
surprised they didn't
sounds like it
capitalize.
technically means if you find a body dead in the street before anyone can bury it,
That's fine.
if you could snatch that hobo.
I'm pretty sure a lot of American common law in the late 1700s was finders keepers, more or less.
Yes, 100%. America might have been founded on finders keepers.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
it was
to
at
be
least
quite honest.
established that way.
And
Yeah.
bonds. Damn it.
What?
America's built on bonds.
Damn, is that like something your union dad told you?
Just railroad bonds.
Wooder
Yeah.
bonds.
Bone bonds.
He's drunk watching the Eagles lose, and he's like, America was built on bonds.
You get your like 0.25%
That's right.
20 years later.
That's right. Nothing like cashing in a savings bond and realizing it's worth the
It's
number
worth
that's printed
not
on
even
it.
what's printed on it because it hasn't matured.
Yeah.
My dad gave me a bond the other day that hadn't expired. It was over Christmas, actually. It hadn't expired, but it had just reached its limit. He bought it when I was like a baby, like an infant.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a cool $50.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's
like my grandfather thought he was doing me such like a solid with all these bonds, and by the time they all matured, it's like, oh, there's $250. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, get me through college.
I was like, wow, thanks. I was like, good. A lot of foresight there, Dad. Why didn't you buy crypto, you fucking cuck?
Yeah, fucking Ed.
Yeah, buy a computer.
Grandfather Ed.
Fucking shit. Anyway.
No foresight with that man.
The act outlawed
R.I.P.
grave robbing, but it did give New York doctors, it provided them, the government was like, we'll give you our executed criminals instead.
Oh, there you go.
Fair is fair.
There just weren't enough criminals to go around.
In New York.
And that's how.
That's what blows my mind. Like, people were hanging like horse thieves and shit. Like, you got hung for almost, like, the bar for the death penalty was so fucking low in 1788, let alone 1860.
I mean, shit. Like, and they were digging up the black cemetery. Like, the bar was even lower for them for the death penalty. Yeah. So, like, it's like whistling the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like looking at a white woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still didn't have enough bodies. You boil one wrong, you just got to toss it out.
It's a whole new body.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. They're going through them like single-use plastic, man.
And the other thing it did lead to that was good, actually, though, was medical licensing and a somewhat structured medical education system. Doctors, to become a doctor, you had to like study or apprentice for like 2 years. It wasn't just like you could hang out, watch a doctor, like do some weird shit, and then go back up to Schenectady and be like, I'm a doctor now. Bring me your kid, so I'll cut off his foot if he starts to cough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good that they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the medical or the doctor riots of 1788. Shouts to Tiger McGuigan on Twitter. Tiger McGuigan. I don't know if that's his full name, but for sending me that topic. But I thoroughly enjoyed it because people doing stupid stuff is funny, especially when they're just like ignorant of no fault through their own.
No, yeah, that's not their fault. I mean, like, if your kid runs home, it's like, hey, mom is at the doctor's office and a doctor's fucking around with her arm and waving it around, and I think her titties are on the wall. Like, I'm gonna be mad. Like, if I'm a widower.
Look, even now, if I was a widower and my kid was like, I saw mom's titties on the wall at the doctor's office through the window, I'd look into it.
I'm grabbing my compound bow and I'm going right to that doctor's office.
I'm definitely not going. I'm definitely not going there with a gun and being like, "Stop it!"
No.
Pew pew.
Yeah, there's no recoil with a bow.
Nope. It's swift, decisive.
Don't need a silencer for a bow.
Actually, this is a true story about guns, I believe, that we need to put in the commercial. Is the recoil of a gun, the reverberation of it, shrinks your penis.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
It actually makes you go inside your body.
It scares your penis enough to shrink.
Yeah. Well, no, the reverberation. Like, we're talking science here.
And yeah. Science. All right.
What did you guys learn today?
Well,
Shit
kind
do
of-
change.
no, not really. Because, like, again, if this happened now and under the right circumstances, people are grabbing their torches, their pitchforks.
Well, I mean, this is kind of, people were pretty pissed off about stem cells.
Yeah.
And kind of the same, I mean, they didn't riot about it, but
Well, I mean, Christopher Reeves was single-handedly just snapping babies' necks open and sucking that baby juice.
Shotgunning those stem cells out of the fetus cord.
That's fine. He's handicapped.
Well, he was.
What are you, an ableist?
He was.
Yeah, I'm not an ableist. I think he should drink all the stem cells he wants.
Well, I think I should be.
But this is a little reminiscent of being anti-stem cell, I kind of think. It's not a great analogy. Not a great analogy.
There's a lot of complexity.
Because
to
these
that
doctors were
argument.
fucking weirdos and doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
But
doctors right now with the COVID stuff, if they come out
I
and
would say with the vaccine, yeah.
if they say either something controversial that hasn't been accepted yet, I guess, even early stages where doctors are coming out and being like, no, vitamin D is what you need to survive, or like
it helps. It helps
with
fight it.
Yeah, it helps fight it. It lessens the symptoms, and people are like, how could you?
Right. Well, no, I would say, like, for instance, there was a lot of misinformation about fetal remnant in the vaccine. That was like a big rumor. Did
they not put a fucking baby in my vaccine?
Yeah.
What's even the point?
You got ripped off. Is
Fuck
what I'm
that
saying.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
I drove like to Corpus for
I'm
that.
waiting. I'm waiting for that baby in the vaccine.
Yeah, you got to wait for the good stuff. But no, also just like the messenger RNA part of the vaccine where it's like, yeah, people are like, oh, you don't even understand the science. It's like, well, no, they do. They really do understand it, or they've figured it out for the most part.
Oh,
But
you just blindly trust somebody else's word, huh?
over someone on Facebook that failed out of high school, yeah, typically. Yeah. I'm not saying every person that fails out of high school is dumb. I'm just saying there's
Just
a lot
most.
of averages.
Actually, Dan Holloway said one of the funniest things that I've heard in my time here, which is like apparently statistically accurate, which is, I guess, like average college IQ is like 120 or something like that. And, or maybe it's 130.
Sure.
And the average non-college IQ is 100. And the average mentally handicapped IQ is 70. So someone without a college education is equidistant between mentally handicapped and college education. Like they're as close to being mentally handicapped as they are to being college educated.
I don't find that relevant as a statistic.
I just thought it was
Yeah, there's plenty of smart people
hilarious.
that go to trade school, okay?
Yeah.
They avoid.
I'm not shitting on, dude, I think less people should go to college.
What Rob
Absolutely.
is saying
Now,
is that he is
especially now.
anti-trade school and that he does not
He's
care
not for the little man.
He doesn't care for your
I'll
craft.
just say it. Fuck electricians. Fuck plumbers.
Carpenters can catch this.
Rob will shit in his hands and use candles
And by
for the
this,
rest of
these
his life if
hands.
he wants to.
Yeah, no, I have my own plumber. It's called a piece of plastic with some rubber on the end. That does 99% of a plumber's work.
Oh, it's a plunger.
A fucking plunger.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plumbers can get fucked.
I will never say that. I've had to rely on too many plumbers in my life.
Yeah.
Dan,
Plus-
dropping those mega deuces, I bet you have too.
No, Dan's
No,
are
I
water.
actually handle my my problems, Jake.
Dan's are water. He doesn't can't clog a toilet with more water.
No. Woulda.
Woulda.
Woulda. He's shitting woulda. Is that how your Crohn's got diagnosed? Well, Danny, you're shitting woulda.
Shitting woulda.
Give me shitting woulda for the rest of your life.
Stay away from the Wawa.
I wouldn't go to
It's all,
Wawa.
it's all the hoagies from the Wawa that
I wouldn't go
are
to
really clogging you up.
Wawa. Pets, Geno's. The question.
It's never Pasagenos. It's more Boston-y.
Yeah, we're getting into Boston a little bit.
Yeah.
Except for the woulda.
Woulda.
That sounded
But yeah.
Boston.
Woulda.
Anyway, that's all I got for this week. What I learned was that I don't know. I didn't really learn anything.
I learned nothing.
Yeah, not really. Just this is the thing that fucking happened.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's most of history, really.
Yeah, it's a thing that fucking happened.
So make sure to rate, subscribe, tell a friend about the podcast if you enjoy it. If you don't, well, thank you for your business anyway.
Yeah,
listening
I
all
think
the
we
way
got
through to this part.
I think we got some advertisers coming through eventually.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
I think
see.
we're in the works, but we'll see. And that's
Ooh,
because you
also
guys
maybe some gear.
we do have some. Yeah, we're talking about some swag.
Yeah. So this time next week, you're gonna go to. Don't do it now because it's not ready yet.
Not up.
I'll tell you where to go next week because
Okay.
it'll be ready next week.
All right, we'll tell you. But we have gear.
Yeah,
On
we
the
have
way.
gear. We have a couple shirts coming.
Couple shirts on the way. Should be pretty exciting. Those are the only thing we'll wear from now on this show.
Yeah, we could even get some mugs going if you guys are into it.
Sure. Why not? Why the fuck not?
What about a calendar of all three of us?
We'll have to do a photo shoot.
Yeah. That's
But-
what I'm implying. Like, we can get Joel to do that.
Can you
Mine
guys
is-
actually all spike the camera real quick so we can get like a thing for the show, like a horizontal thing for the website?
flex on them?
All right, that's good, guys.
I would actually like my calendar entry to be. I'll cut my penis off and nail it to the wall.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
good.
my month.
We'll hold you to that.
Cool.
Yep.
But no, we are growing, and we should have advertisers soon, and that's thanks to you guys recommending it and liking.
No,
and
don't
leaving
tell them this
reviews.
because
Then they won't listen.
they're not going to. Damn it.
What? What?
They're used to free content.
It's still fucking free. We're not putting it behind a paywall.
Right, but-
we're just spending 2 minutes being like, and this is brought to you by blah 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 blah. Who gives a shit?
I know, but if you tell them that, they're not going to tell their friends.
They'll be happy for us.
Guys.
Ugh, Lord.
They're not.
Tell your friends.
People aren't
like
happy for other people.
Dan, don't listen to Dan. Only Dan thinks that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jake has picked up his backpack. He's ready to go.
I really got to pee.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're done for
Coop's
this
been
week.
here forever. He's ready to go.
Thanks
Yeah.
for listening.
And you just got soft served.